session tracking methods are there? 4. What is first one? Cookies. Second one, URL rewriting. Third one, HTTP sessions. Fourth one, hidden form fields. See, in 4 session tracking methods, first one completed, second one not completed. Second one, URL rewriting. This program only, in the place of cookies, these books I added to URL. In the place of cookies, I added to URL. Then I pass it to next solid. So previously, these items added to client system. I retrieved from client system. Now I'm appending to URL. From URL, I'm retrieving. That is your saying. See. Here. Here, items retrieved from HTML appended to URL. Then what will happen? If we select the book, that book value stored. Not selected, null string format stored. Say, suppose you selected first book, then string S1 equal to Java 2 complete reference, like that stored. Suppose you didn't select second book, then a string S2 equal to null, like this stored. Now, whether it is null or not null, if you want to check, equals method required or equals operator required. Three times I explained, but still you are getting confusion. String S equal to hello. Now here, if S1 is not equal to null, is not equal to null, is it true or false? Yes, not equal to null, true or false? True. Yes contains hash code not equal to null, true. Yes dot equals null. Yes contains hash code, hello equals null, false. Okay, like that. Here if you want to check, method required. Here if you want to check, operator required. Now I given very clear. Okay, no need to write, we already written. Listen, string S1 equal to null. String S2 equal to null. First diagram. In this line, object created or not created? Created. That object, what it contains? Null. This object contains null. This object hash code stored in S1. This hash code stored here. In this line, object created or not created? Not created. S2, what it contains? Null. Now, in this case, if I use equals method, in this case, if I use equals method, will it work or not? Here, not works. Null pointer exception comes. Operator, here also you can apply, here also you can apply. Suppose here, if S1 not equal to null, now S1 not equal to null, is it true or false? It is true. S1 not equal to null is true. Suppose here, if S2 not equal to null, true or false? It is false. Okay. But if S1 dot equals null, true or false? What is it? True. Here, if S2 not equal, S2 dot equals null, what will happen? Null pointer exception happened. Null pointer exception occurs. Here, object is not there. You cannot apply method. Null pointer exception comes. Okay. Otherwise, you see the program directly better. See, string S1 equal to null. Okay. Now, if S1 not equal to null, system dot out dot println hello. If I compile and execute, what will be the output? What will be the output? Hello. Java C demo.java. 1 minute. This is I saved in other folder, other drive. Save as demo.java in C drive. That is E drive is saved. Okay, in E drive I'll save. E drive I'll execute. E drive. Java C demo.java. Successfully compiled, successfully executed. Hello. First, is it clear? Any doubt? Now, in this line, object is created or not created? Created. In this object, what will be there? Null. Null. This is string object. Now, this S1, what it contains? S1, what it contains? Hash code. Here, hash code. Hash code. Now, S1 not equal to null. S1 not equal to null. S1 here, what it contains? Hash code not equal to null. True or false? Hash code not equal to null. True. Then what is printed? Hello printed. Like this, executed. Okay. File, save. Compilation, execution. Okay. Hello. Now, here string S1 equal to null. Like this I given. Now what will be the output? Now what will be the output? S1 equal to null here. Now S1, what it contains? Null. Null not equal to null. False means what will happen? Out of if. No output. File, save. So no output. Clear? Suppose like this. Okay, just SL, right? No. Dot equals S dot equals null. What will be the output? Now S contains null. Here equals method compares here, not hash code. Now null equals null. True or false? True. Then what is the output? Hello. Compilation. Execution. Hello. Now what will happen? Now what will happen? Null pointer exception. Program successfully compiled, but while running error comes. While running null pointer exception. See, null pointer exception. Okay. Now is it clear? Now our application. Our application here. 3 books. Whether you select or not select, all will be appended to URL. Whether you select or not select, all will be appended to URL. Suppose you assume first book you selected. First book you selected. Selected means like this comes. Now value I given like this without space I given. Now suppose in the program you observe book 1 equal to S1, book 2 equal to S2, book 3 equal to S3. It is string concatenation. Now string format comes. Now first book you selected, like this comes. Second book not selected, like this comes. Okay. Now if S1 not equal to null. Now system dot out dot println suppose hello. If S2 not equal to null, system dot out dot println hello. Now in first case, what will be the output? What will be the output? Second case, what will be the output? Here also hello. Now here it is operator. It is operator. What operator will check? Hash code. Here hash code is there or not? Here hash code is there or not? Both are having hash code. Then not equal to null. S1 not equal to null, true. Hello. S2 not equal to null, true. Hash code. Hello. If it's check like this, what will happen? Java to complete reference also printed, null also printed. Suppose here if I write S1, here if I write S2, here what is output? Here what is output? Here Java to complete reference. Here null. Okay. Now, here null is there. We should not print. Then what do you write? Method dot equals dot equals. Now S1 dot equals. Now Java to complete reference equals null. False. Null equals null. True. But actually we require not equal to null. Any not equals method is there? Then what you can do? Not operator you can apply. Now S1 equals method will compare here. Java to complete reference equals null. True or false? True or false? These many times I am explained, still you are not getting means I cannot do anything. In core Java class I explained, advanced Java class many times I explained. First equals method, what it will compare? Content, what is there? Java to complete reference equals null. Not false. Then what is printed? Java to complete reference printed. Now equals method compares the content. Here what is content? Null equals null. Not true. Will it print? No. File, save. So first one Java to complete reference printed. Second one null not printed. Selected we have to print. Not selected we should not print. Then we have to write like this. Selected book coming like this. Not selected coming like null. This type of null coming now. Then equals method you have to write or equals operator you have to write. Method. Suppose by mistake if you write operator for null also printed. Null we should not print. See, these questions only n number of questions I can ask. Concept should be clear first. Concept is not clear, you cannot understand. You cannot give answers. Here, if you select or not select, here string format coming. String format coming. Our string format you are getting. Suppose selected. Selected means Java to complete reference comes. Not selected, null comes. If selected, Java to complete reference comes. Not selected, null comes. This type of null is coming now. This type of null is coming. Okay. Now, suppose first book selected, Java to complete reference. Second book not selected, null. This type of null coming. This type of null is coming. Then what will be happen here? Here, in this line object is there or not? Yes. In this line object is there or not? Here also object is there. Here also object is there. Here also object is there. Here object contains Java to complete reference. Here object contains null. Here S1 having hash code or not? Here also hash code is there. Here also hash code is there. Now, here diagrams S1 contain here object created that hash code stored in S1. Here object created that hash code stored in S2. Now both the places hash code is there. If we check hash code is there or not, hash code is there. For both the places, same output comes. That's what. Now we should not use operator. Whether here null is there or not, we have to check. But null is there or not, how to check? Method. If S1 dot equals null. Now, is it true or false? Is it true or false? False. Not false. System dot out dot println S1. If S2 dot equals null. S2 dot equals null. True or false? True. Not true. Then it won't print. Once again, you observe when first line executed, like this object created. Whenever first line executed, like this object created. This object referred by S1. S1 contains hash code. Second object created like this. S2. Now, here hash code is there or null is there? Here hash code is there, null is there. Both the places hash code is there. Then checking is no use. That's what we should not check in this case now. Here. We should check here. How to check here? Method required. Method. Method S1 Java to complete reference equals null. Java to complete reference equals null. True or false? False. Not false. Then print. Now, second one. Null equals null. True. Not true. They don't print. Okay. This type of logics, so many present in core Java. But after completion of core Java only, you are forgetting core Java. This is a problem. This is only happening. What students will do? First, they'll attend core Java. Core Java completed. Next, they'll attend advanced Java. Advanced Java completed. Next, they'll attend Spring. Spring completed. Spring Boot completed. Microservices completed. After completion of all, they'll attend interview. In interview, first, what they'll ask? Core Java. But long back, core Java studied. Over. Starting interview only, starting interviews only, they'll give wrong answers. And even if you are perfect in Spring Boot, microservice also, but they won't ask question. First core Java questions only, you given wrong answers. Then what they'll do? They'll stop the interview. That's it. That's what. Parallelly, you attend interviews. Sometimes you may get a job. With core Java knowledge also, you may get a job. Until completion of Spring Boot microservices, no need to wait. Parallelly learn subject, parallelly attend interviews. Sometimes with only core Java knowledge also, you may get a job. Chances are there. But what students will do? After completion of all, they are attending interviews. That is happening. Sometimes with only core Java knowledge also, you will get a job. Chances are there. Okay. Parallelly attend interviews also. It will be better. Okay. Now, if you select the book like this stored, if you don't select like this stored, now if you use operator, both the places hash code is there. Both the places hash code is there. But selected, not selected, you cannot identify. If you use this method, then you can identify whether selected or not selected. Okay. So now what we have to write? Method you have to write or operator you have to write? Method. So in this program, URL. Right click, new, solid, URL, class name, get URL. Next, URL pattern, get. Next, which type of request coming? Get. So which method you have to override? Do get. Now, from browser, we retrieved request parameters. Now, request parameter appended to URL. From URL, you have to retrieve. From URL also, same method. Request dot get parameter. Now, if not operator s1 dot equals null, then you have to print pw dot println s1. If s2 dot equals null, we have to print pw dot println s2. But print writer also we have to create s3 dot equals null, pw dot println s3. First we have to create print writer. Now, if you want to add HTML tags, all those things you can add. Now, pw dot println level 1 heading underline text selected books. Here every book next line required, line break. After S1 BR, S2 BR. After completion of these if conditions, we have to close HTML tags. Body tag, HTML tag. Now you observe, right click, run on server, save. Select the server. Here, books.html. Now, whatever you want, you can select. Suppose these two books I selected. When I click on submit button, your books are added to cart. Next. When I click next, selected books. But here, you observe, here appended to URL. Book 1 not selected. That's what null came. Book 2 selected. Book 3 selected. So it is URL rewriting. URL rewriting. But in previous program you observe cookies. Right click, run on server. Books.html. Here. Is it displayed in address bar here? No. That is stored in browser memory. But now previous program stored in URL rating, you appended to URL, displayed in address bar. So here not displayed, no? So this is also one session tracking method. This is also one session tracking method. Note on get URL dot Java. Set URL already written, no? Set URL. Write this one. When this program executed, when this program get URL executed, whenever you click on next hyperlink, next hyperlink place hyperlink reference. What I written? Get. That is a URL pattern of this solid. So this solid is executed whenever you click on hyperlink. That hyperlink reference only get. With that only books are appended. Items are appended to URL. This is second session tracking method, URL rewriting. Is it completed? If it is selected, book name will be there. Not selected, null will be there. First, suppose Java to complete reference equals null. False. Not false. True. Then printed. Second, suppose second book not selected. Not selected means what will be there? Null. Null equals null. True. Not true. Then it won't print. Like that it works. If you are checking content means method required. If you are checking hash code means operator required. Like that. Is it over? Save. Completed. Save. Here hyperlink reference equal to get. It is the URL pattern of next servlet. With that servlet, I appended. Okay. Once again, I'll run both the programs. You check it. See, cookies. Run on server. Save. Localhost. Here, all I deployed, only cookies required URL rating. That's what I'll do. I'll remove these two. Cookies URL rating. These two I'm deploying. That means next time again no need to run URL. Directly can execute in the browser. Finish. Okay. Restart the server. Now you observe the difference between cookies program, URL rating program. It is cookies program. Books.html. Like this. 2 books selected. Submit. Your books are added to cart. Next. Selected books. Here, are you getting in address bar? But where these books are stored? Browser memory. These books are stored in browser memory. Okay. Now, URL. It is another program. I selected 2 books, or I selected these 2 books. Submit. Your books are added to cart. Next. You are getting 2 books. But here address bar you observe. It is not stored in browser memory. It is just appended to URL. Whenever you click next hyperlink from here, this data vanished. Once if it is next page visited, it is vanished. But in a cookies that is stored in browser memory. Until you close the browser, it will be there in browser. So about 10 pages are there. Page to page, you are going to click. But still the data will be present in the browser if it is cookie. But if it is URL rating, whenever you visit next page, vanished. It is again you have to append. Suppose from here also an hyperlink is there. From this hyperlink, one more servlet you are executing. At the time, what you have to do? You have to append to this one. Listen. You are not listening last. See, these all you have to append to next servlet also. Next servlet, if you want to execute, you have to append to next servlet URL pattern also. That means page to page, you have to append to URL. Every time you have to append here. But in cookies, one time if you add, until you close the browser, you can retrieve in any page. That's the difference. Now, login program you studied. Login program. Login program you studied. Run on server. Only login. Finish. In this program, I written cookie code. You have seen already. In this program, I written cookie code. You see the code first. src main java login servlet. You observe here, I written cookies. 2 cookies I created. Welcome servlet. 1 cookie I write out. Username I write out. Now, you see here, homepage.html, login.html, username, password. See, welcome AAA. This AAA stored in browser memory, from browser memory retrieved. But are you getting in address bar? No. Now, if I add URL rewriting concept, it will display in address bar. That is I'll add. Just you observe. Login servlet. Now, here I am removing cookie concept. I am removing cookie concept. Okay. It is URL pattern. No? Now I want to add username and password. What we have tried? Now this username and password I want to add here. What we have tried? Question mark. Uname equal to S1 and how to add URL pattern? Just yesterday you studied, no? Question mark you have tried. Name your book 1 equal to book value, book 2 equal to book value, like that we written, no? Here also after URL, question mark, uname equal to S1 and pword equal to S2. But S1, S2 should be variables outside. Double quotes plus double quotes. Again double quotes plus like this. Now it is value outside the double quotes. It is value outside the double quotes. Welcome Solid. Now we have to retry. Now cookie I removed. No cookies. This line I'll remove. This is get parameter only you can call. Request dot get parameter. Parameter name, uname. Uname I'm retrieving. Now if I write, see if I run this program, what will happen? See, run on server, save. Now in this program, how many parameters we written added to a URL? 2, but one only displaying in browser. See login, username, password, submit. Now welcome AAA. But in the address bar you observe welcome question mark uname equal to pword equal to. Okay. Is it confidential? Is it secure? No. Other people can see your password. Cookies also not secure. URL rewriting also not secure. See, I didn't write password equal to triple. I didn't display, but it is displayed here. Cookies also not safe. URL writing also not safe, not secure. These two not secure. Cookies, what will happen? Browser memory is stored through settings option. You can see, but URL writing directly displayed in address bar. Password directly displayed in address bar. So it is also not secure. But up to here, what's the difference between cookies and URL rating? Next nodal. Cookies versus URL rerating. Cookies versus URL rerating. Cookies versus URL rerating. Cookies versus URL rerating. Now, cookies. In this session tracking method, client state information stored in browser memory. In this session tracking method, client state information appended to URL. In the session tracking method, client state information stored in browser memory. In this session tracking method, client state information appended to URL. In this session tracking method, client state information stored in browser memory. In this session tracking method, client state information appended to URL. Say, it is stored in browser memory. It is just appended to URL. Once if the next page visited, vanished. But here, whenever you close the browser, vanished. Okay. Next. Here, size of the data is limited. Here also, size of the data is limited. Here, size of the data is limited. Here also, size of the data is limited. Say, for every website, number of cookies are some limited. So, if many cookies are there, not possible. Browser will allocate the memory, some memory, that much memory only we can use. Some browser supports 8 kilobytes, some browser supports 16 kilobytes, some browser support 32 kilobytes, like that. So, depends upon browser, depends upon version. That will be different. Browser side, some memory allocated for cookies. That much memory only we can use. More than that, not possible. But address bar also, continuously you type in address bar, somewhere it is going to end. Up to that only it accepts. After that, more than that size is there, data truncated. Data loss will occur. So, in this case also size is limit. In this case also size is limit. Both the cases, size is limit. Okay. Now, cookie constructor you have seen. How many parameters are there? 2. First parameter is string. Second parameter, string. Name of the cookie also string format. Value of the string cookie also string format. Suppose if you want to pass integer, float, list type, you can pass, but considered as a string only. Later you have to convert into integer. But one employee object I want to store. Is it possible? No. It will take only string. It will take string. But if you want, you can pass number. Number you can pass like this. But it is string only. So, it will take string. String format only can pass. But employee object as a string format, not possible. Even in URL rewriting also, just you are concatenating. If you concatenate integer also, it is considered as string only. If you concatenate float also considered as string. But employee object I want to place, not possible. In both the cases, that is not possible. That's what one more session tracking method is there. Now, It supports string type data only. It is also supports string type data only. It supports string type data only. It is also supports string type data only. Both the cases, string type data only allowed. See, cookies and URL rereading, size limit, supports only strings. If you want to set the time interval, is it possible in cookies? URL reading? No. When cookies are vanished, whenever browser window is closed. Here, your client state information appended to URL. Whenever control pass to next page, vanished. Here, by default, cookies are vanished. Whenever browser window is closed. Here, client state information vanished whenever next page is visited. Here, it is possible to set the time interval. Here it is possible to set the time interval by using which method? Set max age method of cookie class. Here it is possible to set the time interval by using set max age method of cookie class. Here it is not possible to set the time interval. Here it is not possible to set the time interval. Here it is possible to set the time interval by using set max age method of cookie class. Here it is not possible to set the time interval. Now, you observe up to 5 differences. Okay, one more difference also was see. Is it secure? No. Cookies are not secure because cookies can be viewed by user through browser settings option. Six. This session tracking method also not secure because here client state information displayed in address bar. Six points you studied. First, you write complete. Writing is complete. Complete the writing. First, write it all differences. I given similarities and differences both. That's what cookies versus URL rating I given. These 6 points, if you observe, which one is better appears? Cookies better appears or URL rating better appears? Which one? On what basis cookies better? You selected okay. On what basis you are saying cookies is better? Suppose first one, here stored in browser memory appended to URL. Second one, here also size limit, here also size limit. Here also string, here also string. Like that, if we compare all, which one is better? Cookies. Why cookies? Time interval possible. But URL rating, time interval not possible. Okay. That one, if we compare, this one, if we compare, cookies better. We can set the time interval. Here not possible to set the time interval. Okay. And remaining, if you observe, here size of the data, these all same will be there. So everything same will be there. Here. So only that point of view, time interval purpose, cookies better. But here one more. Seventh one. Note. This session tracking method fails if the cookies are disabled. This session tracking method fails if the cookies are disabled. This session tracking method always works. This session tracking method fails if the cookies are disabled. This session tracking method always works. If you see this difference, which is better appears? URL rating better appears. Cookies we can enable, disable. If cookies are disabled, that method will not work. Say sometimes enable cookies, one message comes while visiting websites. If we select, then only that application works properly. So cookies we can disable also. And this is always works. Always works. Okay. Now, depends upon application requirement, whether cookies or says URL rating, we have to select. 7 common points and difference point I given all mixed about these two. Suppose your data is confidential, data is there. Password, PIN numbers, security code, some bank account numbers, this type of information is there. Can I use cookies? Can I use URL reading? Both are not suitable. Then we have to go for third one, HTTP sessions. Okay. Next heading, HTTP sessions. Third one. In this session tracking method, client state information stored in server memory. In this session tracking method, client state information stored in server memory. In this session tracking method, client state information stored in server memory. In this session tracking method, client state information stored in server memory. Say, cookies stored in browser memory, URL rereading appended to URL, sessions stored in server. Already given, session means it is a time period between login and logout. But third session tracking method name also session. But we are calling HTTP session. HTTP session sometimes in interview. What is session? If they ask also this one only. Session is a time period between login and logout I given. That is general concept. But they may ask about third session tracking method also. You 2-3 members continuously are discussing only. You are not listening class. Maximum times I observed. Then attending classes based, no use. Attending classes based. At least if you go outside, you can enjoy, no? Instead of sitting here forcibly, if you go outside, you can enjoy. You will not get a subject, you cannot enjoy also. At least if you go outside, you can enjoy. In this session tracking method, client state information stored in server memory. Server data can we see? That's what it is, more confidential. More confident, it is secure, more secure. Confidential data is there. This is the best option. Okay. In this session tracking method, client state information stored in server memory. Password, PIN number, security code, MPIN, in this type of data. Sensitive information is there. Compulsory, we have to select this option only. Okay. Here. Note down. Here, session is a piece of information stored at server side. Your session is a piece of information stored at server side. Your session is a piece of information stored at server side. See, in this session tracking method, client state information stored in server memory. Session tracking method name is HTTP sessions. That first one, session tracking method name is cookies. Here, sessions also one session tracking method. But a general session different, this session different. This session is a piece of information stored at server side. Cookie is a piece of information stored at client side. Client side means cookie. Server side means session. Client side, if you want to store, first session tracking method, cookie. Server side, if you want to store, say third session tracking method, sessions. That is only we are calling HTTP sessions. Now, HTTP session or session, both are same. Suppose sometimes what is session? If they ask in interview, this is only you have to give answer. Between login and logout, that question they may not ask. That is, everyone knows. Like suppose our class session 11 to 1. It is one session. It is called one session. That is time between. That is, no one will ask in interview. What is session means? This is you have to give answer. Session is a piece of information stored at server side. Okay. Here session is a piece of information stored at server side to maintain client state information. Here session is a piece of information stored at server side to maintain client state information. Cookie is a piece of information stored at client side to maintain client state information. What it maintains is client state information. That can be username, password, account number, examination ID, anything. Okay. But here you observe. In the session tracking method, session ID created. Session ID created. Because otherwise it cannot recognize the client. See, for example, it is server. It is client. It is client. It is client. Now you will select, suppose, online books, that Java books, shopping items. Suppose first session tracking method we used, that is cookies. In that program, Java books I have taken. Where Java books are stored in first session tracking method? Browser memory. Whatever you selected books here, those books are stored in this computer only. This person selected books in this computer only. This person selected books in this computer only. That is first session tracking method. Second session tracking method, whatever you select, appended to URL. Again next page, again next page, again next page. You have to append continuously. That type you have to write. That is second session tracking method. Third session tracking method, where it is stored? Server. Suppose you selected book, added here. This person selected books, added here. This person selected books, added here. Later, again he selected book. But in 3 cards are running. In which card it should store? In first card. But how it knows? One ID. ID required. Because all people items are in server only. Then how server should recognize whose items? With ID only. But in previous programs, ID created? No. Your items in your computer only. Why ID? Okay. Your items in your computer only. Other person item in other person computer only. But here, all people items in server only. Then how server knows? With ID. Here ID compulsory. See, for example, you'll go to one shopping mall to shop. You want to do shopping? You'll go to one shopping mall. Already you have one bag. Will they allow bag inside? No. Okay. You have a one bag. With that bag, you want to enter. Will they allow? No. That bag you have to kept with security. Okay. You will enter into shopping mall. Again, you'll come back. Same type of bags, many will be there with security. Then how will identify your bag? Token number. They'll give one token, no? All people bags with security. And if token is not there, whether that is your bag, other people bag, you cannot identify. Same type of bags may be present. Again, you have to open, you have to see the things, then you have to observe. Okay. And also, security also cannot identify whether it is your bag, other people bag. Okay. But security cannot remember. So many people will come. He cannot remember. That is your bag, other people bag. Okay. But with a token number, you can identify, security can identify. That's what. Whenever you enter into shopping mall with bag, they may not allow. Then you have to keep the bag with the security. Then you'll give one token. Later when you come back, even many same type of bags are there. With token number, security can understand, you can understand. Whether it is your bag, other people bag. Okay. Suppose one more shopping mall is there. They are allowing bag inside only. They are allowing. With bag only can enter. Is it token record? Your bag with you only. Why token? Okay. Your bag with you only. Then token is not required. But all people bags with security. Then token required. Here, cookies, nothing but your items in your computer only. Why ID? ID is not required. But all people bag items with server only. Then ID required. Otherwise, server cannot understand these whose items. So, the third session tracking method, ID created. Note down. In this session tracking method, session ID created by web container. To recognize the client. In this session tracking method, session ID created by web container to recognize the client. In this session tracking method, session ID created by web container to recognize the client. In this session tracking method, session ID created by web container to recognize the client. But session ID created, it should be passed to client computer, no? Starting session tracking method I explained. Session ID created for every client. That ID should be passed to client computer. If it is stored in that ID, we have to maintain. To maintain that ID, again cookie required. Because ID where we have to store? In browser. Browser side stored means cookie. Otherwise, you have to append to URL. So, third session tracking method independently we cannot implement. Either cookies required or URL rewriting required. Next, write it. There are two ways to maintain session ID. One is by using cookies. Second one by using URL rewriting. There are two ways to maintain session ID. One is by using cookies. Second one by using URL rewriting. There are two ways to implement this session tracking method. First one, HTTP sessions with cookies. Second one, HTTP sessions with URL rewriting. There are two ways to implement this session tracking method. One is HTTP sessions with cookies. Second one, HTTP sessions with URL rewriting. There are two ways to implement this session tracking method. One is HTTP sessions with cookies. Second one, HTTP sessions with URL rewriting. So only HTTP sessions we cannot write. This session tracking method depending on another session tracking method. Either cookies you have to use or URL reading you have to use. Compulsory. Now, without cookies, without URL reading, the third session tracking method is not possible. Okay. Only cookies we can write. Only URL reading we can write. But only HTTP session not possible. Otherwise, server cannot understand whose items. That's what it is required. Two session tracking methods you studied, cookies and URL reading. Third one, two ways. HTTP session with cookies, HTTP sessions with URL reading. This is default. Cookies no need to write. By default, cookie created. It is default. Without writing any code only, cookies created. HTTP session with cookies is default. Default works. How to implement this session tracking method, we'll see tomorrow class. Okay, tomorrow we'll see condition.